guys do on your 50th?
Oh, look,
What?
you want to tell the truth?
She's shaking.
We're
She's
gonna make it
shaking.
sound really good or glamorous.
It was low key.
We just went out to dinner.
Yeah.
We had a nice
On a
dinner.
50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And then we got on that. What's that spaceship that goes up out of orbit and we did that as well.
Okay.
But, you know,
Well, you had to go.
We stay pretty low key.
I love that though.
Yeah.
Well, because like sometimes you can have a huge party, and then you're kind of defeating the purpose because you're talking to everyone else, but not talking to your,
Yeah. Well, we had the kids. We had a family dinner. And
oh, well, there you go.
Had some friends, but nothing too extravagant.
Yeah.
I didn't wear a hat. Or anything
no,
like that.
Did you wear a tie? Did you wear a 50?
I did. I did.
Okay, you did wear a tie.
Yeah,
all right, nice to know. Isn't that just amazing, Krista? 50 years. You think about
amazing.
that.
Krista, nice to see you this morning. It's been a while since we've seen each other. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing just great.
Good.
She is doing wonderful. She's
am.
doing all kinds of things, great things over at Meadowview, and
Yeah.
they've been busy. They had their loving, during Valentine's Day, they had their King and Queen, and they're going to be marching right on into St. Patrick's Day, and then on into Easter, and all kinds of fact.
When I worked for the city, oftentimes you would invite me over to meet with some of the people and maybe say a few words at times. I always enjoyed that. I always thought you ladies did a nice job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Meadowview always loves participation from the community and local businesses. We always love that.
Yeah. Well, there's some really cool people over there, everywhere, from all over the building.
I remember the positive atmosphere that you all had over there, and even with the residents were always outgoing and seemed very much at home while they were there.
Yes.
And that's important. Here I'm doing your commercial for you.
That's right.
No, that's fine.
Do you remember their courtyard? Remember the courtyard
Yeah.
with the turtles and the bunnies and all of that, and just go out there and sit? That's a little piece of heaven right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
nice facility. Can't say enough good things. And we have a lot of good facilities in the city.
And this facility, Meadowview, has been around. I mean, how many families have Meadowview? I mean, I know we're talking.
I really don't know how long it's been there, but it's been there a long time that I can remember.
Since the 60s.
Yeah.
I can't remember I want to say the blueprints say 62, I think.
But you think about how many, have lived there, made it home, and then how many people in the community that has touched, I mean, it's a huge part of our community and still going strong.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're very, very grateful.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I know.
I feel good this morning.
Very grateful. Well, you should feel good because you're doing great things over there. And
I'm a firm believer, and I said this for many years while I was in office. Our reputation as a city is defined by our actions. And when you say actions, well, whose actions? Well, it's all of our actions. It's the businesses. It's certainly the elected officials that represent our community. But a lot of it goes back to Wslm even. Bennett's Clothing and Shoes back in the day, and all the businesses around the square. So it's important to have that continuity of a community and try to work together.
Right.
And I think we could, in terms of government right now, I think we could use a little continuity and working together.
We need everybody to be on.
I've been out campaigning, spent a lot of time yesterday out knocking on doors and visiting with people that I've known practically all my life and renewing some of those relationships. And the first thing to do, what are you going to do different? Or what are you going to do? Is a question I often get.
Okay, I'm going to put you, we're going to use that as a teaser right there. Let's thank our sponsors real quick, okay? David, I'm not trying to, go, Krista.
Coffee Club sponsors. Meadowview Health and Rehab, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Perlee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Midnigun, Marshall Monuments, Totally Baked Sweets, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, Temple and Temple, Wes Bowers for Commissioner, and David Bauer for Commissioner.
Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. All right, let's jump in, David. Okay, I really wanted to know that. This is very interesting.
One of the questions that we often get, and I get it most often, is what are you going to do? What are you going to do different or along that line? And the first thing I always say is I want to get along. I think we need to start getting along a little better. I think we need to respect each other's opinion and the direction they want to go. And you don't have to agree with everybody all the time. I'm certainly not a yes man. I think I've proven that over the many years that I've been in this community and served. But we still have to make an effort to understand and live in that other person's shoes, so to speak. Now, that being said, at some point, we have to put the gripes and the complaints behind us and move forward, because we need to move forward. And it's kind of, I sometimes think about government, the leg bone connected to the thigh bone, or whatever that old song used to
Yeah.
be. It is. We're all connected and don't realize it. And to get where we want to be, we need to be connected and work toward the same goal. So that's something that I want to bring back and bring back some trust. And I think we can do that if we work together. There's a lot of goals. Now, one of the goals that I think is very important that a lot of people are struggling with their everyday lives, the cost of whatever, gas, groceries, or whatever. And there's some concerns there about how high things are going to go or whatever. We certainly don't. I don't like taxes. I don't like taxes any more than anybody else. But you have to have tax revenue, obviously, to pave roads, and it's a myriad of things I could talk about. The list of that could go on forever. But to do that, and this is not rocket science, and it's plain and simple. We derive our income from our revenue, which is the tax base of the city or the county, and that's how we get most of our income. Now, there are segments that we derive income from that the city and the county uses, but we're just going to talk about property taxes. Like the city, a perfect example is the water. A lot of people don't realize this, but in the city of Salem, the water utilities are standalone. They don't get tax dollars. They get revenue from selling water. That's all they get. They don't get any tax dollars. And a lot of people think, well, if you just raise taxes, you can increase the money that flows into the water department. It's not like that. And it's controlled too. The rates are controlled by the state. You have to have approval by the state to raise rates. And some rates, our rates have been historically low for many years, and we do that. We try to do that by running government efficiency, by running our government more efficient and trying to get more things done on less money. And we achieve that in part, and that's always the goal, I think, of business. I'm sure you do that as
Sure.
well, and your business does that as well.
Yes.
So you try to be more efficient to save those dollars. And we're wanting to save tax dollars. Well, the cost of goods and cost of labor, everything's going to go up. That's just the way of life. It is. And so what do? How do we increase government revenue so we don't have to raise taxes? Well, I just said that earlier. Be more efficient. Really look at ways to cut where you can. Now, I'm not saying we need to go out and cut a lot of things, because I think we're running pretty efficiently right now.
Right.
But as time goes on, that's the quandary. That's the $64,000 question. How do we set ourselves up to meet those demands of the future? Well, economic development, increasing business and opportunity. Not only does that create jobs for the community, but it also increases the tax base. It widens or thickens that pie that we all hear about, so we've got more to pull from, more to choose from. And really, that's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
If you really look at it, it's efficiency. How can we run our government better? And I want to be a part of that. I think I can bring that to the table. And the other thing is, how do we increase our tax base? I think I can help there too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about.
I think you bring up some good points. I think anytime when you get into office, you just can't. There's different accounts here. There's different amounts of money here. There's accounts of money here. There's accounts of money here, and they all are designed for different reasons.
Exactly.
And you can't pull from one
Right.
necessarily, even though you're thinking, oh, you're doing this, you're doing this, but that is designated to that.
Exactly.
And
Some
sometimes
funds.
people don't understand that you
Right.
can't just pull from wherever you want to pull from. It's
Some
not
funds
just
are
one big pot.
specifically designed just to meet a demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was something, I know on some of the boards and stuff, sometimes people they don't quite understand, well, you're doing this and you're doing this, but why can't you do this? But that's a different account, that's a different amount, or that's a different account that you can't pull from on that.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
not
think
always one big bucket.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not easy, and oftentimes in government, especially rob from Peter and pay Paul, we
Yes.
can do that in our home budgets
Yes.
with no consequences.
Yeah.
But oftentimes you can't do that in government. And
Right.
again, the water, I think utility is the easiest and the best example of that. That I can't take funds from another area of city government and put them in the water department at those times.
Well, and on a side note, our water was so cheap that they made us or wanted us to raise it.
There's a
There
lot
was
of
some of
grants we
the
couldn't qualify because
because
it's
of
kind of like you got to help yourself.
yeah.
But it's hard too. That sounds like an easy button, but when you've got people who've paid their water bill, and
Yeah.
they're concerned about bills going up. It goes
Well,
back to what I said.
absolutely, exactly.
People, I think, they certainly don't like taxes. I've not met anybody yet, and I'd like to meet that person that shakes my hand and say, "Hey, I hope you raise my taxes."
I've never seen anybody
Yeah,
smiling when they're paying taxes.
you know,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
consequently, it's the same with water rates.
Right?
No one
No.
ever says, "Well, I want you to raise my water," but I think they understand why we have to sometimes. I think most people do.
Well, I think you know when you explain it, I think it understands. But I think right now everybody's very tight. Gas is going up, groceries are up, and there's everything, and those are just the basics. By the time you do just the basics, food and family, it's very tight.
But I think there is an opportunity for us here as a community to be a little more aggressive, and we're not going to win. I'll maybe allude it to or use sales calls as an example. Let's say you knock on 100 doors and you're a salesperson and you're going door to door for whatever you're selling, and you knock on 100 doors, and maybe only 10 will buy. Well, that's the same way. Now, as a city, I think we need to start contacting people. First and foremost, the businesses that already operate here. Is there any way that we can help you? What is it we need to do for you to help you expand? Go to our existing industries or businesses and say, what is it we can do to help you expand? Imagine if every business already in Salem, already located in the county, West Washington, Eastern, doesn't matter. All these businesses are located in our community. What if they could raise their employment by 5%? Imagine the extra jobs that would produce right there. So I think the first thing we need to look at the people who are making this community right now a great community, and see what we need to do to help them. But I think as a community we need to work together. I think the city and the county could work together and be a little more aggressive in terms of economic development. We have the Grow Partnership. I served on that for many years. I think we should really become more, again, I'm going to use the word aggressive and trying to get things done. What do we need to do to help you? What do we need to do? Is there some businesses that's shown interest in our community? Do we need to help follow up with you? What would be wrong with, maybe a county commissioner and a county councilman, maybe along with some representation from the city, to go call on some of these businesses? So I think there's some opportunity there that maybe we're missing, or that maybe we're not just taking advantage of. I really do.
Do you feel like that'll be something that I guess
Well, you and I've talked about this,
yeah,
about opportunity in the community, and you have opportunity here.
yes, do you feel like that as far as like being involved in the city and being mayor, do you feel like that's going to be an advantage because maybe you see how important it is to work together with each other, the county and the city working together, or
Absolutely.
I think
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I think that is important. I think for us to grow our county, to keep our taxes low, and to provide those jobs and opportunities to keep people from maybe having to drive an hour. I think a lot of the folks that drive out of town right now, I think they would, if they could have the same job at home, it's just common sense that, yeah, I'd like to be able to do that. I don't know that we can do that. We can't be all things to all people. But absolutely, I think it will make a difference. And I definitely want to hit that, and I appreciate you bringing it up. It will undoubtedly, has to, make a difference if the city and the county will work closer together. And I like to think that I can bring that continuity, because I understand what the city administration goes through. I did it for 8 years. I understand their challenges. And I was on the county council for 8 years and as a township assessor, so I understand the taxing process. I understand the flow of those tax dollars. And as I said in the last week, I worked with a who's who back when I was a young man on the county council, of members on that council, and learned a lot. So I understand both sides, and I want to be that person to bring them maybe closer together. I don't think we need to sit around a campfire and play the guitar and sing Kumbaya song. I don't think we need to do that. But I think that we need to respect each other, and in meetings respect those people in those meetings, and not get mad and upset. Life's too short for that. And the people who lose are the taxpayers, because they're in the middle of it. If you're arguing for 15 minutes, that's 15 minutes of lost time. Time is our most precious commodity, and there's a lot of different ways to look at time. Well, you can't get things done without time. You have to have the time to do those things. So I look at it that way too.
So what do you feel like as far, and I think I think the relationship, I don't know right now, and we're not knocking any, on that, but I could see that would be very where you would see the
I was
importance of
speaking
that.
in terms of economic development.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any animosity now.
Yeah.
I don't think that at all. I don't
Right.
think there's any. We don't like you or you
No,
don't
I
like
don't think
us.
so either. I don't think.
No,
I didn't want to.
no.
I didn't want to insinuate
And I
that.
appreciate that.
I was just
Saying
trying to say that I think that you see there was huge importance to keep that up and keep going and maybe even do a little bit more together. If you,
I guess what I'm trying to put across is that there needs to be a common goal, and that typically that common goal in of itself brings people together, doesn't it?
Mhm.
I mean, if you have a goal at your business where you work, and you all get on board, it takes everybody to get on board to come together
It
to
certainly
complete the
does.
task.
Yes.
And that's where I'm coming from. If we all work together, or maybe a little closer in terms of economic development, we're trying to bring more jobs and opportunity, because that in turn will help solve your tax base issue if you grow the tax base. If you grow, and this is again, it's very simple, but like the leg bone attached to the thigh bone, start out, if you can grow your tax base, good things will happen. And I could go through and tell you all the good things that will happen. Obviously, the first thing would be possibly lower taxes. The government of our communities, our county, city and county, West Washington area, eastern town boards, if you grow the tax base, that money does flow out into the community, out into the county, to help pay for goods and services that help our citizens. You know, sheriff's department. I mean, it goes on and on. Police department, the city, water, all those things that we have to have, that we expect. That's
Right.
required of government. A lot of those are required. It's not just, okay, we're going to do this today for you. No, you got to do this today for me.
Right.
So, you know, with that in mind, I know that a lot of the offices, you know, they're elected officials too, in our community, especially the county. You know, you've got the auditor, the treasurer, the recorder, the assessor. You could go on and on. All those offices, sheriff's department, all those entities that serve our community. You know, they feel that pinch too. You know, it would be nice to have more police officers. It would be nice to have more city workers or county workers. It would be nice to be able to have everybody fully staffed, so we would be maybe get our jobs done a little quicker and more efficiently. But that's not going to happen unless you do one thing. And again, I'm going right back. You got to have a bigger tax base. We got to have money coming from somewhere. You just you can't print it yourself. And it's just like, you know, a lot of our people now are, you know, they're working extra jobs maybe to bring in a little extra income. It's certainly not unusual to see the husband and wife work, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's common practice now.
Yeah.
But now sometimes you're seeing the husband and wife, and maybe the dad's mowing a few yards on the weekend that he's off from his regular job. You're seeing those kind of things. And what's the problem? Well, the problem is paying your bills. These good people are working. They work all week long, and the spare time that they do have, they oftentimes have to supplement their income. And that's not a bad thing. That's their choice. But I think I think we could help that a little bit. We could take some of their concern. People are worried. I think that's what I've been hearing going door to door. I spent all day out yesterday, and I think people are concerned. I think there's some more so than I've ever heard, and that bothers me. And it's not just older couples; it's young couples. It's the age group in the middle. They are concerned about the prices and the way things are going, and I think that's natural. Do I think the sky is falling? No, no. But I think if we work together, it goes back to if we could just somehow, and it's possible because as you see, we've got some improvements next door, right across from you, and it's certainly raised the value of your property. I mean, let's just face it, it has. And so if other businesses bring in other businesses, and other industries bring in other industries, because you might have a factory here in Washington County that builds widgets, we'll say, and they need wood to build those widgets. Well, if this factory is a big factory and it builds a lot of widgets, then they may want to locate the people who supply them with the wood to make the widgets. It would be more efficient for them to have the supply factory right next to the widget company, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you look at too. You look at the existing businesses, and that's a big part of economic development. The support chain, and then transportation is another thing we look at. We're not that far from I-65. So, you know, that I think I've heard that excuse when I was a younger man. Well, not an excuse, but that was one of the hurdles I think that people used to bring up. Oh, we're too far off an interstate. I don't think we are. I don't think we are. So I just think we need to talk more about our positive things of our community and our county. Let's highlight some of the strengths that we have, and we have probably more than people realize.
Uh-huh.
And I think we do have a good workforce that is available if there's something here that they can get a job and raise a family. So again, that's my tax stand. I think that we as elected officials not just go in and do our jobs and go home. Or I think commissioner is a full-time job. I don't know how you can say it's not, and I don't know how you can really put all your effort if you got to be somewhere, because things happen throughout the day. You've got meetings, you've got things that at the highway garage on a daily basis that you need to be in support of, and the other offices. And I think it's our responsibility to be there for them. That's part of it. Am I going to be there for you and the taxpayers and the office holders and all the departments in the county? Yeah, I'm going to be. Guarantee it. And I think you have to have that mentality that you want to be there for them too. But
Well, I think as far as I think that, yeah, I think you're right, and I know enough about it that a lot of times, like, there'll be emergency meetings or emergency things, especially weather. Do we call a state of emergency? Do we do this or whatever? I mean, I think it is a very demanding position. I do believe that, and I think that talking to past commissioners, it's much more than just roads. You know what I mean?
it is.
Roads are very important and very valuable, and there's a lot of time spent on that, but there's so much more that goes into it. And all the meetings that you'll be going to. You'll be going to several, because they delegate different, all three. There's three of you. Yeah, boards, and yes.
And as a
You'll
commissioner,
be
you'll serve on a lot of boards. And
absolutely.
when I was on the county council, and even when I worked for the city, I was on a lot of boards.
Mhm.
And there's often many days that I went in at 7:30, sit down at the conference table in a meeting, and lots of times with the county. By virtue of office, the mayor oftentimes is the vice president of the solid waste board, which is our dump. That's what's commonly known as a dump. And so you serve on that board with the county.
Solid
and
waste just sounds so much.
Yeah, so eloquent word
Yeah.
there. But anyway, you'd meet with those folks in the morning, and then there'd be an engineer meeting just right after that before lunch, and then oftentimes you'd go to lunch with maybe your department heads to find out what's going on there, because not only are you doing all these, and you would call them extracurricular activities, improving the water lines that we've dealt with, and the quality of water that we dealt with when I first came into office. Imagine all the meetings I had there. And you have to meet with the state. There's certainly rules and regulations you have to adhere to. And we would often meet with the state. We'd give them our information and all those things. So yeah, it's just a constant. If you're doing your job the way it should be done, and I think it's something that you owe your community. If you do run for this job, and I'm honored with it, I will be a full-time commissioner, and I think it will reap benefits. We've got some good people right now at the city and the county, and I didn't miss a meeting in 8 years in the city of Salem. I'm not talking about just meetings or monthly meeting when we met with the city council. I never missed one of those, but I never missed other meetings. It was that important. You got to be there, and that's what I plan to do in the county. As a county council member for 8 years, it's been a long time. I can't remember exactly, but I don't remember missing any meetings. Do you? This is my wife here beside me.
Yes.
When to miss, when I had to go to a meeting, she knew about it because she was at the store and she'd help me
Yeah.
pick up the slack if I was gone. An important part of that business. So, yeah, I don't remember. I just think it's important you be there.
Right. I think on a side note, this was so interesting. You never stop learning, and just like David, I think you being on the county council will help serve you well. Being part of being with the city, the mayor, and all of the different boards you've been on will will help you. But like I did not know. Speaking of the solid waste and speaking of or the dump, however you want to say it, I didn't realize we have to have so much solid in there that has to be in there regulated. I think sometimes people don't realize all the regulations
It has
that
to be a mix,
it has to
so to
be.
speak.
So sometimes we will take from other communities, well, because that was something that someone had saw other communities coming to ours, and they were not happy about that. But it was something that it's a requirement because if we don't have enough solid I just thought that was
And the water, the effluent, the the rain, and it goes through,
yeah.
that's the waste, and then the water coming out that has to be tested regularly.
Well, and then wastewater is not the same as, I mean, there's
It's
like,
not. It's
I know
totally
there's like
different.
so
Yeah.
different. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, for the people, you want to dive in deep and
Yeah.
really
Dive
understand
in deep
things.
to the dump.
Yeah, dive in deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's really,
let's
yeah,
go
right.
dumpster diving. But
Dumpster
Let's
diving.
not.
that's I think
It's
what you're talking about, and
it's
yeah, there's more to this than
I,
people
I
realize.
want people to understand that, like, these offices, there's a lot of things that just go on. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, there's a method to this madness, if you will.
And I want the
Sometimes.
voters, and Greg and I spoke about this, and I brought up, get your votes worth. It's how do you, and today of AI, we talked about, what is it, chat.
Hmm.
I had my niece. I do all my own writing. The ads that you see, I may have some mistakes, punctuation or whatever, but I did that. Now, what was interesting, I've knew this, of course, and but I've got a niece who is up on all that, and I understand it too. It's not that I'm not, but I don't think it's right as a candidate, or even resumes, because I've been doing some reading that corporate America is a little worried about. There's some concerns. We'll just say that
Hmm.
that if I take my resume and I could write, and I've said this before, I could write a two-page little paper on what I want for breakfast and who I'm going to take and how I'm going to get there, and I run that through Chat GTP. It'll make me sound like a Boston lawyer or
Yeah.
Harvard lawyer. But that's not me. And I
Yeah.
was talking about in Washington County, we don't say either. Have you ever heard too many people say? I mean, I say either.
I say
Some people say either. Well,
I
you're.
don't know what I say now.
I
Now
say,
that I
well,
hear it, I don't know.
yeah, I'll say either. I mean,
Yeah,
I do use them both. But sometimes
I'll
when
do
I say
either or
either,
either.
that sounds more foreign to me than either.
That's
So,
hilarious.
I'm half New Englander.
Yeah,
well,
That's
there
where
you
she's.
that
go.
comes
See.
from.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've been 100% Washington County, so I
Which we do have our own dialogue over
we
down
do.
here. Now, Christy, you know that.
So
We are a little.
if I take these writings that I do, and I've done them all my life as mayor, you remember I did the state of the city every month. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to, because there's three of us.
Yeah.
But I would be willing if the other two members of the commissioners want to meet and we write down, and imagine each commissioner submits what's important to them, and then we get together and we write down what we think is important, what we're trying to do in the community, so people will hear that. In other words, let's control our own narrative a little bit instead of rumors, and oftentimes rumors are so
Oh.
whacked out,
Hmm.
conspiracy theories, and I don't know. I'd like to change some of that. But I think if we do that, and I think the way we did that at the city when I worked there for all those years, I did a state of the city, and I was able to put down my side of the story, if you will. There was never really a story. I just wanted people to know what we were doing, how I looked at things. And oftentimes when I wrote that, I would get questions. I'd be out, Jamie and I'd be out having lunch somewhere, and somebody come up to the table and say, "Hey, I read your State of the City on that whatever that was, and what about that? Tell me a little bit more about that." So it worked. It worked, and that's all we want. And I had notoriously long meetings. Now, do I like to sit down in a meeting for 2 hours? No, but and when I'm in that meeting and you've got people that come and want to hear what's going on, I want them to get their money's worth.
Uh-huh.
So I went over everything. I would have my notes. You got one page there? I'd have three. And I would go down everything, and I'd go down what we did last month and the month prior, and we go down all those things. And I think that's a communication. I think's got to be something we do a little better job of. I really do.
Well, I think so. We are so in this world now. We're not in a, we're in a world now where everybody, you have social media, you have, well, meetings are being filmed. They're actually, people can see them, watch them live, and they're not, you could come, but you can watch them live now. You have so much more where, like, right now as a candidate, everyone can look up, I mean, more so everything you do. You know what I mean? Every money you spend, every person, that you may that supports you.
You're a truth industry.
Yeah.
Because what people listen to me right now,
I mean,
can't suck it back.
no.
I've already squeezed the toothpaste out of the tube. There ain't no
I
putting
heard
it
someone
back,
say
folks.
something about that they, like what was that story? Remember, someone took leaves and piled them up on a door, and then the wind came and blew them, and someone said, "Gather all those leaves. There's no way to get them back." I
Not
mean,
like our meetings
what
being filmed.
what you what you say, and more people can, if you want to say, back it up or look at it to see, to check. They can research to check it now.
I've
Which,
stuck my foot in my mouth a few times.
and chew vigorously.
I wear 13, so I know it's hard to do, but I've done it. But I've always, and I learned so much from those county council days as a young guy, and I'm gonna kind of go back to that a minute. But that's what, circling back to the chat, how you can run your thoughts, or not even your thoughts, your scribbles, basically,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it will make you sound like a Harvard lawyer, and that's not truthful. So you're in a truth business.
Mm-hmm.
It's live.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and like
I
do,
work
we
hard.
take this
I
and
work
put
very
it on,
hard.
yeah.
Yes.
And what you hear Dave Bauer and his wife Jamie talking about, that's it. And I can say, oops, I didn't mean it quite that way. This is the context I'm in. And now you can, that happens too. And we see that every day in Washington, right? So it is, it is possible to make some faux pas and mistakes. When you say something, you think, well, did that really convey what I wanted to convey? But I think for the most part, you're definitely in a truth industry, and I like that. And this is what concerns me about some of the AI, the artificial intelligence. So, I understand in corporate America, I could run this through and put it on my resume and apply for a job. But once I get there in the interview process, are you this guy? What I'm saying?
Krista's like, hey,
yeah, so she knows.
Tell me about it. Look at it.
And this is starting to be a little bit of a concern.
Well, sure, yeah.
What's real?
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I've read some political ads, not just here, but there are some here that and elsewhere in the country that has been run through the system. Because it happened, I wrote something, I send it out. Now what I do, when I write things, I send it out to maybe friends or family. I've done it ever since. I used to do it in high school, and I'd write a book report. I'd let somebody in my class say, hey, what do you think of this? Does it sound okay? But you want to, and what I do, why I do that is, I write, or my ads even at the store. Obviously, when I did an ad, and I'd worked with you back in years past, you want to solicit a response from those ads, and that paper, and that talk. Well then, and this, hopefully this will help some business people. In your ad and what you're doing, what response do you want? Do you want to sell more widgets? Do you want to sell more shoes in our case, or Levi's? What do I need to say differently than my competitors? Okay, so you circle back with, I'm wanting to apply for a job, or I'm going to write a political ad, and what am I soliciting from you? So when I send out my ad to my niece, I sent my niece one. Smart lady, got a great job, proud of her. She's really outstanding. And I'll send it to my niece. And I said, hey, just read this. Tell me what you think. I do it to my cousin. I've got a cousin, very intelligent young lady, that I send the things that I write. And I do that, and oftentimes they'll say, well, you got your punctuation in the wrong place, or whatever. And I don't even think about that, I'll have to admit. And I said, well, thank you. But what I'm actually doing is I want in a response. Well, what response am I wanting? Well, in terms of elections, a vote, right? I want you to vote for me, and this is why. But if you're running your letters, or what you want to do through chat, it's not you. Now, you do write down the main points. Like, well, I like to say, let's say I'm going to write that letter about breakfast. We talked about this last week. Okay, I want to go to a restaurant where I can have steak and eggs and whatever. Well, that'll certainly be in there. But it does it differently than probably what you would do. It makes you sound better. It cleans it up. It reorganizes. And if you're having somebody do that, as you know from resumes probably,
Yes.
That's not the person. I want the person who can write like that. That's what you want to hire, right? I mean, if you've got a person that submits a resume and they wrote that without any help from artificial intelligence, wow, I mean, you got somebody. Well, we're not getting that now. We're not getting the truth. And radio is a truth industry.
Absolutely.
But if you write address, did you see what I'm going for?
Yeah,
there?
I do.
Get
I
your
definitely
votes
think
for
so.
it. Is the
Absolutely.
person you're hiring, and I'll simplify this some more, is the person you're hiring really the person on that resume? And you got to admit that as a quandary for years. And
Yes.
is that the real person you're hiring, or these industries that look at these resumes? Is that really, is this person this person? And that's a question that now is coming up a little more often than it used to be, because with all the help and the aids that we've got, especially chat, I can't write like that. I'll be honest, I can't be perfect like that.
Right.
I'm not a perfect person.
Well, and then even like on my end, on news stories, or um, you have to fact check everything to make
Yeah.
sure that it's because I don't want to put anything that's not true. I really stand by that. If you hear it here, I want to make sure that it's 100%. I don't want to mess up. I can't say that I will never, but I really try my darndest not to ever put anything out that's not 100%. And that's something, that's integrity, and that's something, we were in DC, the broadcasters, we just talked about that, because there's a lot of AI out there that's fake, and fake news and making stuff up, and
There you go. See,
and it hurts families sometimes,
It does.
and it hurts, damaging for people, and you do your best, though, as broadcasters, we take that responsibility very serious to make sure that it's 100% true and fact. And
So it's the same in government.
yeah.
It's exactly the same. And you write an ad, that's a resume of sorts. If I put an ad in the paper, which I've done, or I'm on here, and I talk about county council, and I was county council for 8 years, township assessor, I served the city for 8 years, a lot of clubs and organizations. Well, they can make me sound better than probably what I really am, some of these AI programs. And I just don't think it's right. Now, do I think AI has some purpose? Well, absolutely.
Sure, yeah.
All technology has its place. Just like from the automobile to from the horse, right? And we have to grow in technology and science and all those things. I'm not putting that down, but let's be wary of that. Let's just like these images now, all the movie stars are concerned about fake images, and rightly so. I'm not sure that's fair either.
Right.
To have somebody that looks like whoever and does an ad when it's really not that person. So it's something to think about. Who are you actually hiring? I want the people of this community. Who are you hiring? I want you to get your votes worth. So who are you hiring? Are you sure it's the right person? Are you sure? And really what have they done? Now, and I allude this to two different workers, A and B, and A goes to work the same place and B goes to work, and after 5 years, what has A accomplished and what has B accomplished? Because a lot of us have had experience in government. Throughout, I'm not talking about here, but throughout the state, you'll see people run all the time. Well, I served here, or I served there. But what did they do while they were there? That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, I mean, you could be elected as a county council member. What did I do? I can tell you what we did. We kept taxes low. We run county government very efficiently. I was in a who's who, and I can't brag enough about the folks that I learned from. Merwin Fisher, former state rep. Jim Day, a successful businessman in his own right, farmer, family man, got a great family. I mean, I learned a lot from him. Roger Sweeney, one of the fairest guys in government. John Foltz and I sat beside each other. My old football coach, Mignon Marshall.
Oh yeah.
Outstanding.
Well, you're
Dulcie
name
Souter.
You're
Jim
name
Nice.
dropping good people.
And I'll tell you, Jim Nice too. Another, I tell you, that's a sharp guy. And here I am, a young kid, and I'm sitting here and I'm around all this who's who of community fathers and leaders. And boy, did I learn a lot. Did I get an education?
Like what kind of meetings? Like what was?
Council meetings.
Like no, but I mean, like what was some of the discussions? Was it?
Well, typically, since we were the county council, which is the fiscal body, we handle the budget issue. It was always budget issues, and trying to help support the other offices and the other.
I think that still goes on today. It's
Absolutely,
still it's funny, the same problems past.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just generational. It's the same thing, but it's different too. And those folks back then, and here's what I remember. So I've been there and done that. And that's, again, I've had experience, but my experiences have been good experiences. And we accomplished a lot. And that's what I want to try to tell people. I just didn't get elected to county council and miss half the meetings, or I think it's really, you can't miss, you can miss them all but half. I think there's a bar there that they're not allowed to miss more than that. But, I never missed a meeting. But what I remember and the commissioners, I worked for several, Jerry Roberts, I worked for Dale McKinley, Dave Bagshaw. There was Kevin Stewart. There was Bundy, Joe Bundy. I worked for Atlanta, or worked with. You know, Mike Garion was even a commissioner at that time. But what I remember, especially as a young guy, we got along. We had our differences. You know, I remember the commissioners coming in. Gosh darn it, we can't afford to do this. Or Merle would get up and he was a little more eloquent. Maybe.
Yes.
And he'd say, guys, we're going to have to cut. And the state tells you. They tell you what you're going to get, right? So it's not like we're going to sit around and we can just pull money out where we want it.
Right.
The state tells you how much you're going to get based on your assessed valuation.
Yeah.
Your tax revenue. Again, I was a township assessor. So, I understand that process. So they're going to tell you what you have to have. And I know when my first year of mayor, they cut us $800,000. My head spun. How do you cut $800,000? It's not would you, mayor, cut $800,000. It's you have to, mayor. And the counties have this same burden too. The state tells them now you can go back and apply and say, well, I can't cut it that much because of this, and oftentimes they could give you a reprieve, and they would give you some of it oftentimes, but I doubt you ever got all of it back. So you would present your evidence or why it would be really a hardship, and the state would help you. I mean, again, all working together. I really think the state and the counties and the cities really work well together. So I think it's a great process. I think it's a fair process, and I think it's the best process for the taxpayer. So they could say the same thing to the county. And I remember Norman Fisher, and they'd say, guys, we got to cut 110,000. I don't ever remember having, well, hey, we got an extra 200,000. How do you guys want to spend it? I don't ever remember that.
I don't think that was ever said.
It never happened, right? And thank goodness.
I'm so happy you're saying these names. These are good people.
Yeah,
we're good people.
Thank goodness that the state didn't say that, because that wouldn't be fair to the taxpayers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, does that make a point that the taxpayer probably has more people looking out for them than they think they do? That doesn't seem that way.
Right.
But the county councils, and you're a candidate for that. The county council has a really important job. You're the fiscal body. And of course, the commissioners are what's called the executive body, but Merwin always calls it the physical body, which I always like that because they're the guys, the commissioners. That's what I want to be. I want to be your next commissioner. We had to get out and actually get it done. I spoke about what a mayor does one time, and I think I made a point. There's 100 people there or so, and I said I was just kind of being a little tongue-in-cheek and trying to make it interesting. But I said all these big fancy state guys, they send all this legislation and all of our things down to our little country mayors like me, and I said we're the guys that have to do the heavy lifting. They tell us what to do, but who has to do it? Well, it's typically the mayors.
Yeah.
We have to get all that done. And of course, in the county, it's the commissioners that physically get it done. You got so much in this budget, make it work, and you work with that office holder oftentimes or whatever's in the budget. And the commissioners have their own budget too that they have to develop, and they present that to the council for approval. So it's a really nice checks and balances. And I just don't think everybody that runs for this office understands all that, how all this works together, and how it should work together, and how it should be done in a respectful process. Whatever happened to being a statesman? You ever remember that term? You're a pretty young lady. Do you remember statesman? Remember that term?
Yes, I do remember that.
Oh, take it, Krista. If it's said to you.
Well, what happened to
no.
being a statesman, or a city father, or a county servant leader? What happened to those terms? When's the last time you heard that? It's been a long time for me.
Been a long time, yeah.
So I think there's some opportunity there. I think that maybe the bar is set a little low right now, and I think that we can raise that bar by our own actions, by what defines us. I like to think that I've been defined as being at least a person of action. I'm not lazy. I get out and work and have worked a lot of different jobs at the same time. And newly married, we worked several jobs. I drove a school bus for 20 years and coached football and involved in a lot of community activities and from the Salem JCs on up. And I think that's all we got to do. I don't think it's something that is that hard to accomplish. Let's bring back the trust. Let's bring back maybe the statesman. And that's what defines us, isn't it, as a community? I've always said that. I believe that. Even everything in your community defines you. Even your sports teams. Look at the Pekin Eastern girls. My
Mm-hmm.
goodness,
Mm-hmm.
how proud of you of that. I am. I know everybody is. Well,
Absolutely.
that defines us. So people are saying, man, where's Pekin at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's in Washington County.
Yeah.
That helps define us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, it's a win. It's a win for the whole county.
it is.
Because that right there, everyone's talking about Washington County, and then IU. When
Oh my
IU
goodness.
went
Yeah,
on
the
their big
state.
run.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole state.
So why can't you and I, as elected officials, help define this county by our actions? Wouldn't it be nice to say, boy, Washington County's got it going. They're efficient. They're providing great goods and services to their community. They're keeping the tax rate low. So we did it for the city. It can be done. Maybe we didn't lower it, but we kept a lid on it the best we could for efficiency. And we had to because, again, state says, you got to do this, boys. I had no choice in the matter, really, if you think about it. But why can't we elevate that a little bit? I don't understand why we can't. But I know how we can, but I don't understand why it's not better. Because, you and I, if you get on the county council and I get to be a commissioner, you're going to have your thoughts. But I'm not going to leave the meeting not liking you over it. I mean, I've known you since you were a little girl. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's bringing up good points, and I think and explaining it. I think that's something that our community. I think that that's something that we now want to be more involved. I mean, we've seen more. Stephanie Rocky, the first day that she opened up for anybody to run, we've had more people coming out for this campaign than than years.
Well, I think you're right, and I like that.
I do too. I think it's. I think. I think
I think
it's
it's great.
good. I like people wanting to know and ask those questions and
Yeah.
be involved.
But I oftentimes
You know.
wonder what the motivation is behind some people who are running. I'm sorry, I just do. Is it because you need a little extra income? Is this going to be your part-time job? Is it going to be because you want to be president someday? That's great. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I mean, I always like to know the motivation. And then what really has prepared you to take on such an important job? And I know there's a learning curve. I was a young guy. But I had some business experience. Some real life experiences. Uh, but a lot of it is effort too. You got to put your effort in. This isn't a job where you can just go to the meetings and then go home and then you come in and you read your minutes before the meeting 15 minutes before it happens. That's not fair to the taxpayer. It really isn't, and you're not going to get things done the way they should get. But by doing it part time, because in my book it's not a part time job, and I think right now do I think at some point maybe you could have a part time where a commissioner maybe works other jobs. Yeah, I mean I think you're going to you can't make a living on it. That's for sure. I really don't know what pays, but you can't make a living. Historically, you've had other jobs, but you've got to be able to provide the time when it's needed. And to today's economy, that's a little bit what I'm saying too. Things are gotten so high, and it's tough to have enough money in your family bank account, and you have to pick up other jobs. I just don't want this to be looked at that somebody's needing a part-time job. I just don't think. I think it means more than that. I think that this job is more important that somebody says, "Well, I can pick up a few extra dollars doing that on the side." Well, don't be one of those people that misses 30% of the meetings because you're working. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to the people you're on the board with because you're elected to represent an area of our community and of our county. And if you don't go to the meetings, you're not representing those people. Are you? Everybody's sick. You may have an emergency, and that's I get it. But if you don't go to the meetings, you're not representing the people that elect you. I don't care if it's one meeting. I don't know. I question sometimes the motivation of, and not just here, and even in our federal government, you wonder why they're running. I like to vote for people that get things done, have a history of success, that want to make it better. And I hope that I convey that to people listening today, because you are in an industry of truth, that you can go back and look at my past history, and we'll die trying. We may not get everything right, but we'll die trying. We'll take the bullet if that's what it takes. Because I just want, I'm born and raised here. My kids are here. My grandkids are here. I just want the thing. I want to go back to to maybe back when our your dad was alive and Jim Bennett and all those merchants, Laura Pulley and all those guys that I can remember. You know, again, those were pretty good mentors in my life. And I want to go back to. Why can't we bring a little of that back? You can't go back. I know that. You know,
Right.
they always saying you can't go home. It'll never be the same, just because the structure of life is different. But I don't think we should lose integrity. I don't think we should lose trust. I don't think we should lose hard work and the honesty that you need to be honest in what your goals are. If you need a part-time job, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is the way to do it. If you want to help people, I think this is the way to do it. Run for an office. I think anybody that runs for an office should want to help people. I mean, what do you think? I mean, shouldn't that be the base
It should be, yeah.
goal?
Yeah.
I mean, teach me something here if I'm thinking wrong. I want your input. If running for an office and you don't have that desire to make our lives better, even in some small way, then you're in the wrong business, aren't you?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And I wonder that anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, how could I not wonder with all the things that are going on, the mistrust in government? I just want to bring some of that back. I want to be an open book. Everything I do in the bidding process, I know that's a lot of talk about that. I want to be so forthright and just like we were at the city, we took bids. I didn't look at a bid until all the bids went into the clerk treasurer, then they were sent to the attorney. I didn't see an envelope until it was opened the night of the bid. And then we made sure we had people who knew more than I did, made sure that bid met those parameters that were set by the original proposal. You got to make sure it's apples to apples. Because someone might give you a low bid, but they may leave out 100 yards of concrete or whatever. So you got to know what you're doing there too. Now, is it possible to make a mistake? Yeah, but typically you can get it fixed. And that's what I think too. That's another thing. I was raised and being in business. You're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I'm going to make a mistake. I make them a lot. My wife tells me that every day. It seems like, but I can go back and fix them, and we can do that. I told one of the a person in government right now who was upset about something. I walked up and I just said, "Hey," I said, "so you're kind of fired up about that?" Yeah, yeah, he's kind of upset. I said, it could be fixed. I said, what you're talking about can be fixed. So don't go home and lose any sleep over it. Come back, present it like you should. Guys, you want to fix this, and bring it to a vote again, and try to get it fixed. It's I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the arguing that we're seeing sometimes. And I listen. I've been hearing about. I've been campaigning. I've been going door to door, and people are I think starting to get a little tired of it. And it's because I think they deserve better. We're not going to get anything done arguing all the time. So, but I think a way to not do that is to be upfront and if I'm on there, I'll have two other commissioners. It's not just going to be me. So I have to get along too. But I think I got to build their trust too. I'm certainly not the enemy. I'm concerned about the same things they are, but I just go about it a little differently. I don't think I need to call somebody a name or cuss or get into all that. If I have a concern, then we're going to check it out. And I want everybody listening. If there's a problem, or if there's something that somebody thinks is not the way it should be, I'll check it out. I'm going to look into it, and then we'll go from there. But
Do you feel like you'll be available for people to ask questions and to talk to you? What's going to be your relationship
yeah.
with?
Well, I give out my cell phone number. I did last week, and I'll give it out if anybody has. I plan on doing that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's even on my bags, my little goodies I give away door to door, right?
Which he's giving away coffee. Which
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys want coffee out
Yeah.
there, you want to vote, call me, and I'll come deliver some coffee, and I'll put a sign in your yard. Anyway, my number is. While I'm thinking about it,
No,
before
I
I
think
forget,
you
it's
should.
812-896-7550. My wife's right here. I'm going to give her my phone. And if anybody out there has a question, you can text me. I won't give them your name, and we'll just kind of go from there and see what happens. But hey, if you are supporting me and like a yard sign, give me a call. I'll be out today.
I think it's important to to have or people maybe explain a little bit sometimes things and stay important. I think that's where most of the community, when you're put in office, they want to believe in you, but I think that you also they want to trust that, and if they do come with a concern or a thought or something, they want to be heard.
Yeah.
And I think that's so valuable to have that relationship and to be available for those that maybe don't understand or something, and they you have executive sessions that you'll have that you can't tell everything that happens during executive, but and that's the way it is. Okay, that's every board, and I think sometimes people don't understand that in the fact of, like, you might get in the board get or during executive get told how much money, and then you'll bring it to in front of everybody, or you'll find out how to delegate, or how to make it go thin, but go out to everyone. And I think that sometimes people don't always understand that you can't always tell everything, but you can sure let them know that it's going to be okay, and that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Oh,
Like, it's kind
absolutely.
of a.
We had executive sessions, well, in the county council.
Well,
You
yeah.
have your executive session, and we had it in the mayor's office. And we typically talk about employee. Maybe there was somebody who had to take a leave of absence because they had to have an operation or
Exactly, and
whatever.
that does not need to be
Yeah,
aired. That's
and
what
you
I mean.
can't
That's
by,
what I'm.
there's
Yeah.
laws against a
Yeah,
lot of those things.
absolutely.
And if you do have an issue with maybe an employee's done something wrong, and somebody's
Mm-hmm.
concerned and maybe their job could be in jeopardy, or whatever, you had to listen to that and that evidence and all that. And that was typically
Uh-huh.
in a closed session. But yeah, I mean, we got to be an open book.
Absolutely.
We have to be, and I always was. I always have been, and I'm willing to go to Meadowview, like I did when I was in the mayor's office, and I'll be there. I'll go anywhere and talk about anything if they want me to. I
You
even
come
said the
play
other.
bingo with them. You would
I
really
did. I used to call out the numbers,
There you go.
and
win some
but
votes there.
yeah, I
There
mean,
you go. They love that.
I just think we need to be more engaged. And I told I told somebody, I said if there's a sewing club out there and they want me to come down and ask me some questions, grill me and drill me. I don't care. That I don't get defensive. Now, if you start talking about my wife and kids, I might punch you in the nose.
Yeah.
But everything else, it's open. I don't care. Ask me a question. I, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I mean, what have I got to be afraid of? And some of the things that I'm not particularly proud of, I did them so long ago, it doesn't matter anymore. So.
All right, we're out of time, David. Next time we'll have to give out the number earlier and get people to maybe to ask some questions while you're on the
Yeah,
air, because
yeah.
time goes by so fast. But I do want to say this. I thought this was cool. It's been a few months ago, but we did get a report nationally that Indiana has the best roads, and I thought that spoke volumes for our state. I couldn't wait to see what state they said, and they said Indiana, and I think that really speaks volumes, and I think that's definitely something that should be on, should be advertised, because what a huge, with.
And I'll keep them that way, won't we?
That's exactly, absolutely. There you go. Chime in, David. There you go. That's exactly right. Cue David. I love that. Thank you, David Bauer, for County Commissioner. It's paid political for David Bauer for County Commissioner. Thank you, Jamie, for coming in. Jamie was supporting there. Appreciate that, Jamie. That's what.
She's got the phone.
She does. She's
Yeah.
she's a very wise
She's
woman.
ready to take calls.
Absolutely. Krista, thanks for coming in. Keep up the great work at
Thank
Meadowview
you.
and all that you got going on, and
Mhm.
keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, always hear great things about everybody from Meadowview.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I love when I'm somewhere and they're like, I work at Meadowview, and I'm like, oh, lucky
I
you.
know.
That's so
I
cool.
know. I got a lot of loyal employees.
You do, really good.
Yep.
All right, let's thank our sponsors this
All
morning.
right. Coffee Club sponsors: Meadowview Health and Rehab, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Perlee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mendigan, Marshall Monuments, Totally Baked Sweets, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, Temple and Temple, Wes Bowers for Commissioner, and David Bauer for Commissioner.
I think when I heard that Totally Baked Sweets, I think we're gonna have to hit that.
I know. I've been wanting to go out there.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of everything. Can't
Yeah.
go wrong. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank
You,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
David Bauer is running to be your next District 2 Washington County Commissioner, focused on responsible spending, new job opportunities, and restoring trust in our county government. A longtime small business owner and former Salem mayor, recognized for strong leadership, David has also served on the Washington County Council and as the Washington County Township Assessor. He helped bring jobs and investments to our community, including Walmart and the Cobblestone Hotel. For experienced leadership and the steady growth that puts Washington County first, Republican voters choose David Bauer for Washington County Commissioner, District 2 in the May 5th Republican primary. Paid for by the committee to elect David Bauer, Washington County Commissioner, District 2.
The Reds are on the radio!
And he caught it! No way! What a grab! Noel V. Marte!
Ellie De La Cruz is on his horse, and they're waving him to the house.
Suarez swings, he drives this. It is gone! Eugenio Suarez puts the Reds on top.
With an old friend back in the clubhouse, it's time for spring training.
Are you ready for the Rick Burgess Show?
And we're ready to go. Brand new hour now. Speedy, Greg Adler here. Reese and Kinley Morgan shadowing today. Joining the staff for today as a scoop project. And we've talked to them. They're working hard today. Thanks for being here. Everybody, let's go. Now the box seats have arrived, and they're settling in. And they come from all over. So they'll now ride with us the rest of the way. Two of them will do battle in a Burgess Ball battle coming up. Well, it's happened again. It happened again. Have you seen what happened in the LA Marathon? No. You know, yes. And you know, if you're running a marathon in LA, you got to have a pretty good tempo so all the criminals can't catch you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be able to run so a homeless person won't knife you.
I mean, you step over them.
Yes, you've got to keep moving, and then of course you got to watch stepping in human dung.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of issues.
You know what you'll do? You'll slip.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
This part is actually pretty cool because you have the American Nathan Martin coming from behind to catch and beat, which is difficult to beat a Kenyan.
Yeah,
You beat a Kenyan in a marathon, but I'm telling you,
the Sons of Guns can run.
they can run, and they can run a long way with no shoes on.
Never stop it.
An incredible distance, but again, Nathan knows about LA, and he knows he's in danger. So he's running faster than he ever has in his life.
Yes.
But there will be controversy with this. But look at the first one.
I love the broadcasters. They're like giving it to this guy. They're like, man, he did
it's a
great.
Kenyan. If a Kenyan's out front,
So let's get right back down to the finish line so we can watch Michael cross the line here. Michael Kamau from Kenya.
Just over 2 hours. He's about to get passed.
look, somebody's closing in. The American.
Whoa.
Nathan Martin.
He just beat him.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He
collapses.
dies.
It is a photo finish
What a
for
kick.
crowning of the 2026 86 LA Marathon champion. I'm not sure.
Nowhere.
I think I got him.
I think I got him. He said, I think I got him.
Look, he is saying
He
that.
did cross the tape.
Look, here comes the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. These stars don't run.
Something Adler and Speedy can't wear anymore because they love roundabouts. But
You think it's got shaped up
I'm not
a little 'cause
scared
they thought
of it.
he was
We're
there?
proud to be an American.
yeah,
That's
true.
right. I'm just not
Doesn't
scared
sound
of
like
it. Seems like somebody that's efficient would like to save time and just go right
So
through
you
it.
like waiting?
Yeah, you like to
You've
wait.
been on record for that.
I like people that know what they're doing.
Okay.
If people are confused in there, you heard my nephew. My goodness, he's terrified.
Okay. I think you and I, after the show one day here soon, we're going to go learn how to do a roundabout.
All right, look. So,
but you know, the chaser
is he struggling? You think?
He's
Guys,
struggling.
he's
Yeah, he
way
passed
ahead.
out. He's way ahead.
I think he's way ahead, but also I don't think he knew he was back there. I don't know.
Yeah, he
had to have at least a little.
Look at that
not,
finish.
not like that. Not like that. You could tell. He was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, and then he fell bad. He stayed on the ground.
Is what I saw about him veering off what Rick's mentioning?
Yes.
Is that part of this?
That's this same race.
Veering off. Yeah.
And y'all, it ended up being the closest race in like LA Marathon history as far as the finishers.
The Kenyans usually come in there and just walk away.
It was like .1.
Yeah.
So the American did beat the Kenyan, But there's controversy. Here is early, just almost at the end of the race.
Oh, is that him riding in the car?
He's not in the car. No. Okay, so you've got these pace cars coming through,
Right.
some motorcycles and things like that. They're supposed to cut to the right. And then this lady with the Kenyan flag, she's with the race, but for some reason she runs in. Look how close she is to this.
She gets really close
she gets
to the guy in the lead.
Yes, and he's like, what is happening here? So I don't know if that played into it, because
He does have to slow down at her, look.
Yes, but she actually ends up running the correct way. He kind of stumbles, is like, lady, get out of my way. I appreciate the Kenyan flag, but you can see she starts going to the left.
Where is he going?
He goes to the right.
Yeah.
He's supposed to go straight, and they're like, hey, buddy. And so he has to double back because he followed the pace cars again. So he has
happened again.
He has to double back, and then you're going to see the guy that ended up passing him, the American, Mr. Michael something. There he is, catching up. Here he comes. USA.
USA.
Sick 'em.
USA. Nathan Martin. Sick 'em.
That was my bald eagle.
Run him down. But we
that
can't help but acknowledge that the Kenyan had to slow down.
Yeah, it cost him.
And he then loses by 0.1.
What do y'all think?
That's all he needed.
Yeah.
That's all he needed.
Around, 10 seconds maybe?
It
affected him at least?
And it got in his brain, got in his mind.
If the woman with the flag too messed up.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah. She
Get
got
off,
Come on,
the
honey.
course.
Oh, there's a couple of honeys there.
Get off the course, honey.
Yeah.
Now she's trying to say,
Get
off the course.
For a minute, I thought that the one with the flag was not as big a distraction as the one in the pink pants.
Right.
Which I thought he was
distracting.
Which I thought he was actually chasing her down the side road. But
and
no.
Then
and then there's Michael.
Right. I got you.
He
guys, that was enough time for him to catch him.
He got that. That got him.
That was it.
How about at that point they've been running for 2 hours? And they're just running. They're running as fast. They're running as fast as we can sprint. And they don't ever
And they've
stop.
done it the entire time.
Yeah.
Or faster than we could sprint.
Except the
Excuse
one
me,
guy
I don't
when
want to
he
disrespect
run
them.
as fast as you can for 2 hours.
No way.
So the final time on that was 2:11. 2 minutes 11. 2 hours 11 minutes 16 seconds. We saw that clock was at what 2:09.
Yep.
So this is just right before the end.
Wow.
And that kick at the end was enough.
And it was enough. I think it was enough to do the damage.
Plus he had freedom on his side.
Yes, he did.
And the Constitution and the Second Amendment shall not be infringed.
Thank you, buddy. Great job.
Well, I tell you, I put a chill on you, want it?
America to you.
Yeah, Lee Greenwood said
and America,
that.
and America to him.
Right.
So there you go.
So there it is. Also, I'd like to look at video 9. So, because I see the headline you have chosen, would Rick try this? It's about to be released. It's new exercise equipment called Rogue Air Rhino. It's a Rogue Air Rhino. What is a Rogue Air Rhino?
All right, so I thought this would be a great exercise for Rick.
Okay.
He's trying to do a little bit better all the time. So is Speedy. Speedy's trying to. It's the year of the leg.
I'm on creatine now.
And we've seen those air bikes. The air bike or whatever. So that kind of resistance is what we're talking.
I got you.
But it's a different motion, and I thought you guys could.
We're talking about the wheel, the spinning wheel,
the spinning wheel,
even on a rowing machine,
right?
The wheel,
exactly.
Because I row a little.
It's that same type of resistance,
right?
But this is a different motion, and I thought it would be good for Speedy and Rick. Even Greg could try it too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So wow.
And there it is.
Oh my goodness.
Speedy working on them legs.
Speedy, this is what Speedy needs.
I don't
That's
know.
what.
He said it was for you.
Glance over there. Whoa.
Yeah.
He said it.
buddy. Oh, wow.
He said it was for you.
That's gotta hurt.
Right. Those
So
of you that can't see it, the person has some sort of harness around their waist.
It's a dangling belt.
It is.
The dangling part's the problem.
Don't say.
No, it is.
And it dangles.
It does.
In between your legs.
Somebody started to call the law.
The resistance.
All right.
I'll tell you one thing. He's not looking at his smartphone.
He's not.
So you and he's and you squat down.
Whoever designed that,
as you
could
come
just
up,
left that out.
the cable
Keep talking,
gives you the
Rick.
resistance.
Keep talking
Good.
about
Night. Night. Look at that.
It's hard to watch. It's the shake weight.
It's that right there.
Good gracious.
Yeah.
Between that and a shake weight, you can get ripped.
Right.
If I was looking at that on my phone now that I need glasses for readers, I wouldn't know what was going on.
And
You can't see. You're like,
and it's weird.
Gotta make it look
What's so
different.
weird about it is it says, like, it tells you how you're going to use the piece of equipment. It literally says you have to take that piece of equipment out to dinner and then exercise. And it's like, that seems...
That's
I don't got that kind of time in the workout.
I wish you would do that. I walked in, I didn't know it. My goodness, how many reps did he do it?
They said amazingly, so many more reps. We'll be right back. Stay close.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
So picture this, somebody's breaking into your home, but you're at work, maybe the movies, or on a flight. You see the footage in a couple of hours, but by then it's too late. That's why we choose Simply Safe and have for years now. Simply Safe is a customizable whole home security system that's backed by 24/7 monitoring agents you can rely on to act even when you can't. Get 50% off at simplysafe.com/bigbox. simplysafe.com/bigbox. That's simplysafe.com/bigbox. Hey, we love our Helix Sleep mattresses, and there's a mega sale going on at helixsleep.com/bigbox this month. If your spine needs extra TLC, then you need a Helix mattress. Each Helix mattress is designed for specific sleep positions and comfort, and they let you try it out for 100 nights risk-free. Take the 2-minute Helix Sleep quiz to get matched with the perfect mattress. Head to helixsleep.com/bigbox to save 27% off site-wide plus free shipping. You can also visit rickburgesshow.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-1509, 800-555-1509, or biglou.com.
Paid for by term provider.
Here's the tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Results vary. These statements or products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left? I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped. Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The mega sale's going on now at MyPillow.com/BigVox. Classic My Pillows normally around $50. They're yours for $14.98. The 6-piece My Towel sets normally go for $70. Now they're $34.98 in a huge assortment of colors. The best sheets you'll ever sleep on. My Pillow's Giza Dream bed sheets typically retail for around $110. Right now, $29.98. Head to MyPillow.com/BigVox. Use that code for employee pricing, and free shipping is part of their mega sale. As we head into spring, I've been craving fewer distractions and more focus throughout my day, and earbuds from BuyRaycon.com/BigVox helps me to do that. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic is packed with upgrades. They've got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, so you can pair 2 devices at once, and a comfortable ergonomic design that stays put. They are perfect for refreshing your routine this spring. So go to BuyRaycon.com/BigVox, BuyRaycon.com/BigVox for 20% off today.
He will likely be the new CEO of Cracker Barrel, Rick Burgess.
I'm standing by, ready to be put to work. So thank you for being with us today, America. So, you were telling me earlier, Speedy, that we opened up the package today that came from the listener that when I was in Martin, Tennessee, right?
Yep.
That brought me the toolbox that had the Camp House logo on it, and that they designed. She also brought me like a lot of snacks that night too. Did they come?
They did not. She didn't believe that snacks would deliver good. They wouldn't travel
Somebody ate
good.
those, Rick.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I believe somebody appreciates you leaving those.
Yeah, that was good.
But good thing about it, Box Seats brought tons of stuff.
Did they? What did they bring?
They got
fritter.
Hey, he just heated up a fritter so much. I saw it, but hey, it burned his throat.
Yeah, I went a little far with guys. Now he's gonna cough the rest of the show like he does.
Hey,
no, actually, I think it helped.
Are we gonna talk about that yesterday?
Oh my
What
God.
happened in here?
Y'all get over
Night.
it.
Huh?
Y'all get over
Good
it.
Y'all
night.
get over it.
Yeah.
I heard that kind of coughing since back when in the 70s we were little boys and all your relatives were smokers.
Well,
So he had a little tickle in his throat yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
Post show during office time.
I was in my office, wasn't bothering nobody.
If you bothered all of us, we could all hear it.
Oh yeah,
We could all hear it.
Y'all should have.
I was in there
better
trying to
doors.
get something done, and Adler was trying to get something done, and Speedy's trying to get something done.
And I wasn't
By the way,
home,
we
y'all.
were all working. We had a lot to do.
Yeah.
Every person was
I was
working.
actually working too.
I know, but you kept coughing.
I called my grandma. She thought I was at the hospital. She's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong? Why are you lying to me and saying you're not at a hospital?"
And finally, I was like, "Come get a cough drop." And I think Adler finally took you one.
I gave you a cough drop.
Get a bottle of water.
Ricola.
Do something.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, you were coughing.
Yeah.
I was in my office. I wasn't worried about it.
But we could all hear you.
Well, it wasn't hurting you. Didn't hurt none of you.
Oh yeah, constant.
You
Constant.
exaggerated.
It's always the cougher that's not bothered by it, but those that have to hear it.
I didn't enjoy coughing.
Look,
Yeah.
look
'Cause I
over.
know how you just ignore things so
Hey,
well.
Over
I
there.
do.
Hey, over there ain't got anything to say. She's not saying anything.
Oh yeah.
The green dress.
That's
Okay.
She brought him this time.
She said that. Well, we'll talk to her later, but she's got some. She had some things she's got to get.
You feel my pain. You know what I'm saying?
She said she came a year ago, and of course we'll get into something that she had to make right today. And she said she got kicked out for coughing.
I don't know that we kicked you out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
By the way, if we took her to another room, that means kicked out.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice way of doing
It's
it.
really time out, is what it was.
Yeah.
And because she couldn't stop coughing.
Yeah. But this one here, back to your brother yesterday, he just kept coughing. And then because Greg is one of those, and I don't know if you have friends this way, but you can't help them. You just can't help them. I mean, you have solutions for them. You have lozenges for them. You have, hey, you need some cough medicine. Well, you can't help them. So they just keep on doing it.
So I believe. How about this?
Well, no, I mean, Rick had some, and then Adler ended up bringing you a lozenge.
I got cough medicine all the time. Just
But
taking
you
little pops
can't
off
help
it all
them,
the time.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I don't need I don't need
Y'all lost you,
and at one point,
for an hour.
At one point, I really believe Greg honestly could have a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
And accidentally get peanuts, and he would tell you, get out of here with that EpiPen. You'd be coming here going, I've got what you need to keep your throat from closing.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need that.
they're exaggerating.
I'm all right.
It's been better today.
Huh?
It's a little better.
Well, yeah, but I can tell you got a little scratchy.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what it is? He got out in the yard, and this pollen's falling now.
Yeah.
And baby brother's got some sinus
You got that ditch out there, didn't you?
That normally don't bother me, though. I don't know what it is.
Here we go.
My allergies have gotten worse as I've gotten older.
Oh, weird.
Yep.
That is a thing.
No, that is true.
I don't know how to. I hate
Sorry that he acted that way.
Oh yeah. I'll do a sinus rinse after I mow the lawn, and it's like a lawn bag.
Everybody
It's like a lawn bag I emptied in the sink.
TMI.
That's really good.
I like when everybody has allergies. Well, it must be year round.
I know, no.
Wait, right, but for
don't
you,
don't get me started on allergy people that'll never have a problem.
But for you,
everything's allergy.
You got off in the bushes or something, did something, picking weeds. You got down there. And of course, I had to hear about how sore your hamstrings were too.
Yeah,
I had to hear about that.
hurt worse than anything.
How many times, raise your hand, how many times, Adler, Speedy, me, let's raise our hands. How many times were you convinced, well, that was his last cough right there?
A number of times.
Right.
I didn't realize y'all were so worried.
Well, I mean, I kept having to stop. I was in the middle of something, and I kept having to stop because I started.
You had headphones.
Listen,
I was cutting a commercial, kept having to stop because your cough was in the background.
You can hear this right here. Here's the thing. I begin to anticipate the next cough. You know, when that starts,
thinking about it.
You're like,
wait till today.
And if it gets on that rhythm, it ought to be right.
It's not as bad as it really is. It's worse than you realize. You were cutting a commercial yesterday. That PSA for American food, and here it is.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Yes, you were cutting a PSA. It sounds terrible.
Listen to you right
Every
here.
American can feed themselves cheaper than fast food. One of the challenges that we're facing and that we're working on all kinds of innovative devices to solve is that Americans have forgotten.
Okay, see there? The one that gets me is when he'd really get tired of couldn't get the tickle out.
Yeah. If I just clear it, it'll go. Nothing comes up.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just a little tickle.
Yeah.
It wasn't what they call
But
it.
I love when we offer something to help with the tickle.
You didn't offer anything.
They did.
No, he finally brought me a Ricola.
Yeah.
Me, Greg. I did.
Please don't do that again.
I did. I did what. I did.
Don't do the Ricola trumpet again.
You got to. It's part of it.
Listen, I did what every brother did. Adler actually brought him a cough drop. I said, I got cough drops in here.
I didn't even
If you'll get up and come get them.
Well, I was good.
I'm all right. I'm just sitting here doing something.
It's a little better.
Hey, disturb the whole area.
Right, disturb the whole area.
No, you know those new people, the diversified energy people?
Yeah, they complained.
They came down. They came down to the door. It was before Reese gave them the code, and they came down.
Right, he announced to the world.
Right.
Y'all enough. That's enough.
Okay, all right. That's it.
We brought a dog
go a
with us.
little long on something.
No. It's just I know you don't
we're
like
done with traffic circles and we're done with me calling.
You want to say? I couldn't understand what you said. What'd you say?
You heard me. RFK.
We're done with traffic.
I tell you what.
I don't want to hear anything else about a traffic circle. And I don't want to hear anything else about my call.
Okay.
We've covered it.
All right, we got it.
Well, not really.
We cover. When you start talking normal, we'll stop talking about it.
Now, if I start coughing again, then
Okay.
y'all start. How about this? I was in there, and I almost ate something unhealthy, and I was afraid RFK Jr. would get on me, so I stopped.
What are you eating here?
That's not it.
Well, what a buzzkill he is.
You know, they get like anything.
This is called water. You should try it one day.
Because it's smart water, too.
Okay. Okay, we all need.
Did you have any water in there, William?
I don't know. Probably.
Greg, do you believe that hydration has become one of those things where they think it's cured everything?
Oh, you're dehydrated. Not everybody ain't dehydrated.
Right.
As you go to.
What are you talking? Water solves most health problems.
Most.
Yes.
You can overdrink.
No one's doing that.
Yep. Remember that?
Not here.
Y'all remember that?
Not here. Now you got my nose running.
I do. I got your nose.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Right.
Next up, live golf and traffic
Buddy,
circle.
that was 2018.
Hey, RFK Jr., just settle down. All right, we'll be back. When we come back, we'll go unscreened phone calls. All the lines are opening for you. 888, the number 6, Big Vox. And we'll chat with you about whatever's on your mind right after this. Stay close.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
Well, we love Helix mattresses, and we are proud to be partnered with them, and there's a mega sale going on site-wide right now. You get 27% off at helixsleep.com/bigvox. Now, these are top-quality mattresses designed and assembled right here in their own Arizona facility, and they ship it straight to you with free shipping. And I'm telling you, a Helix mattress will improve your sleep and your comfort. Now, you'll notice the difference a Helix mattress will make in your life. Now, Greg and Lisa have been sleeping on one, but let me tell you something. Sherry and I are about to do a new mattress, and we're going to get one custom-made for us. They have 20 unique mattresses. You'll find one that's right for you. Plus, Helix lets you try it for 100 nights risk-free, and they have a lifetime guarantee. But here's the best part. If you can go to the website right now, you'll save 25% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/bigbox. You can also visit rickburgesshow.com. Look under the sponsors for a link. Our longtime friends at Relief Factor love hearing from pain-free customers, and they hope they can help you next. Bill writes, I've been crawling under sinks and working long hours for decades. My knees and my back took the punishment. I thought pain was just part of the trade, but Relief Factor surprised me within weeks. I was working without wincing. I could get down on the floor and get back up again without thinking twice. Bill knows hard work. He knows pipes, tools, and long days on the job. But what he didn't know is how good life feels when pain stops tagging along. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free, and it targets the inflammation that causes pain so you can move better, feel better, and actually enjoy life again. Let's see if you're next in getting out of pain. Try the 3-week Quick Start Pack for $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4, relief. And be sure and tell them we sent you. You can also visit rickburgesshow.com for all the info.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash fast for 25 years. We buy old houses, new houses, abandoned houses, all types of houses, and we'll buy your unwanted house for cash fast. If you're relocating, inherited a home you don't want, if you've got a tenant you really don't want, Sell My House Fast will buy it fast. If you're behind on taxes, want to avoid foreclosure, if you're going through a divorce or just need cash fast, we'll buy your house at a fair cash price, and we'll close fast too. Sell with us, and there's no real estate agent, which means no real estate commissions. We'll do all the repairs, all the cleaning, and cleanup. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now to connect with a qualified local buyer. Call 1-800-734-0504. 1-800-734-0504. 1-800-734-0504.
Did you know that most deodorants just cover up BO with fragrance? They don't stop body odor. Kind of gross if you think about it. Nobody's fixing the actual problem until Mando. Mando uses mandelic acid to neutralize odor-causing bacteria at the source. Now, that's before there's anything to mask. It's proven to block odor all day, controlling it up to 72 hours. Apply once and you're done. There's no reapplying midday, no backup plan. Apply Mando like your regular deodorant. The mandelic acid goes to work, immediately neutralizing bacteria at the source. Mando was founded by a doctor who was fed up with a stale billion-dollar industry that stopped innovating. This is what deodorant should have always been. Mando delivers strong performance, but it's still skin-safe and made with clean ingredients. Right now, new customers can get 20% off site-wide with the code BIGVOX at shopmando.com. That's the code BIGVOX at shopmando.com. So if you're like me, you're desensitized to dozens of notifications on your phone each day. But if that latest ping is from your security camera, ignoring it could spell disaster. Now picture this, somebody's breaking in, but you're giving a presentation at work, or you're at the movies, or maybe you're on a flight at 30,000 feet. Now you'll see the footage in a couple of hours, but by then it's too late. That's why we choose Simply Safe. Simply Safe is a customizable whole security system backed by 24/7 monitoring agents you can rely on to act even when you can't. Simply Safe is so confident that you'll love it, they don't lock you into a contract. They back it with an anti-theft guarantee. While other security companies trap you, Simply Safe earns your trust every day. It's no wonder millions trust it. And while U.S. News and World Report just named Simply Safe the best home security system of 2026. Now, go to simplysafe.com/bigvox and get 50% off any new system. That's simplysafe.com/bigvox.
It's time for the most dangerous 10 minutes in radio. Unscreened phone calls. Call now. 1-888-6-BIG-VOX and make it count.
To the phones we are about to go. MyPillow.com/BigVox. Millions of people have that wonderful pillow. I sleep on one every single night. And right now you can get a classic MyPillow for as low as $14.98. I mean, so many of you out there, if you haven't done it, now's the time. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are as low as $29.98. My towel sets $34.98, and you've got some Made in America socks as low as $3.99 a pair. Kitchen towels and accessories $9.99, and of course that anti-tire drink, the Rev 7. Speaking of RFK Jr., fantastic, only $19.98. It is a clean energy drink that's good for you. Find out more about these savings and all the others by going to mypillow.com/bigvox today. Use that code BIGVOX and save money. RickBurgessShow.com under sponsors as well. To the people we go, hello. Welcome to Unscreened Phone Calls. Go right ahead.
Hey, Big Rick. I wanted to know something. I ran in the rain yesterday. Am I not a man anymore?
What's the situation? Tell me what happened. Tell me everything. Don't leave anything out.
All right. So, had a pretty big storm coming to the Owens Crossroads Hemscove area yesterday. I was going into Publix to get my wife's prescriptions and some groceries, and I was praying because there was a lot of lightning overhead, and I said, Lord, I'm going to make it to those doors if you get me to it. And then as soon as I stepped out, I saw a giant flash, and boom, 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 boom.
Yep.